We are just weeks away from the first round of the NFL draft, the best TV event of the year, in my opinion. And the Patriots are going to be center stage once again, picking inside the top 5. They were number 3 last year, number 4 this year. Had every chance in the world at the number 1 pick. Had the number 1 pick in their hands in week 18. And that's important now more than ever, because the growing concern is that Abdul Carter's not going to be available to them, and neither is Travis Hunter. So now what? Now what do you do? Because you possibly lucked into a generational kind of player in Travis Hunter falling to 4, but now it's not looking that way. The Giants went out and got 2 quarterbacks in free agency. And now all the buzz from all the insiders around the league are saying the Giants are going to pick Travis Hunter at number 3 overall. How can you blame him? How can you blame him for doing that? I mean, this kid is a potentially once-in-a-lifetime kind of talent. And all the Patriots had to do was lose. And this is not a good draft. This is not a great draft outside of Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. So now what do you do? What do you pick? Will Campbell? 4? You're going to pick a guard, number 4? No left tackle in history has made a Pro Bowl, let alone an All-Pro or won a Super Bowl with the arm measurements that Will Campbell has. Yeah, it is that big a deal. Are you going to take a reach on Ted McMillan? Going to overdraft for Jalen Walker? Okay, you already got a bunch of linebackers out in free agency. What was that all about if you're going to draft a linebacker number 4? You are kind of up a creek without a paddle right now, with Travis Hunter not being available at 4, because you're in a situation where the draft is so mid, as the kids would say, so mediocre, that if you don't have Travis Hunter available at 4, your next best option at 4 is to pick at 8 or 7 or 10 and trade back and get someone with some value. And maybe it is a Tyler Warren, although he's now projected to go in the late teens, early 20s. Not close to the top 10. Maybe it is this defensive tackle from Michigan, and you're trying to shore up that defensive line. You made the Milton Williams deal. You're hoping to have Christian Barmore back, but who knows? Harold Landry kind of on the outside. Maybe you go all in on that side of the ball. Abdul Carter would have been a great fix for that too, if you had just freaking lost week 18 and instead you let a quarterback ball out when he thinks he's going to be the starter, and you let him go for nothing, and you're not going to have your guy available at the top 4 pick. So really, as bad as the Patriots have been the last 2 years, this last week has been a complete shit show. Shit show. Usually they reserve that for football season. They're doing it in the offseason as well, even though they have the adult in the room in Mike Vrabel. It's a shit show. Like, if I had asked you last week, what is the worst case scenario? Joe Milton, trade rumors flying around, and we're talking about the top 5 pick. What is the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is you trade Joe Milton for nothing, pennies on the dollar. You don't get anything really in return for him, and you use him at the time where his value is not at its peak. And on top of that, you don't get Travis Hunter at 4. Bingo, bango, you've got both of them now, it looks like. You are in an absolute shit sandwich if Travis Hunter is not available at 4. And the best option is to trade back. But there have been some rumblings of, can the Patriots trade up to get Travis Hunter? I think there's a real possibility there. You look at a team like the Giants, right? Who, like the Patriots, they need to fix everything, right? They apparently have quarterback figured out, so they're not going to pick Shedeur Sanders. But you need to fix every single thing on that team. And if you're the Patriots and you come to them and say, hey, we'd love to swap with you in the first round, and we'll give you our best second and third round picks as well. First 3 picks in the draft. Bam, it's there. It's yours. Which has been a sports talk radio talking point the last week. If the Patriots offer that, how can they say no? And if you're a Patriots fan, would you take that? I would. You already have another third round pick. You suck picking in the second round in the length of your history. You've not picked well in the second round, and it's a mediocre draft. And there are other ways you can trade back in and get into the second round if you really want to, if there's someone that you really want there. If, God forbid, someone like Tyquan Thornton is on the board that you want to go get in the second round, you can still do that. It's a lot of moving and shaking, and normally I would not want the Patriots in this situation that they're in right now to give up any draft capital. But we're talking about a potential great NFL player, an all-pro kind of player in Travis Hunter. Like special, one of one. The term generational is thrown around way too much in draft talks in the 21st century. But this kid fits the bill. Many are ranking him as the top receiver and the top corner in the draft. Those don't come along every so often. Those never come along. I would trade the Patriots' first 3 picks in order to get up to number 3 and do it for Travis Hunter. And if you're looking at this scenario, maybe a more likely one, you can do that same deal, your top 3 picks, for the number 2 pick with Cleveland. Right? Like if they're going quarterback. If Tennessee's going to pick Abdul Carter, which they are, then maybe Cleveland's sitting there thinking, all right, we can get Cam Ward even if we pick at 4, because the Giants have made it clear that they're not going to pick a quarterback. That's the whole situation here. That's why New England's dealing with us. And so, New England's going to pick Travis Hunter, and the Giants are going to go somewhere else other than quarterback. They already got 2 quarterbacks. That's why they're in this situation. And we can pick Cam Ward at 4. Yeah, there is still half the mock drafts that have Cam Ward going number 1, and that makes it a different deal because then you can't make that trade. But if there's a sure thing of Abdul Carter going number 1, the Patriots could even make that pick, make that trade for the number 2 pick in the draft. And again, I would do it. Top 3 picks, our top 3 picks, go for it. Knock yourself out. At the very least, we will have had 2 top 5 picks that turned into franchise pillars. That's what you would have to say with Drake May and Travis Hunter. By the way, with Abdul Carter, I know this isn't really an option at all, but I might do that deal for Abdul Carter as well. Top 3. Because again, you then get a game wrecker who you solidify not only a position group, but a unit, like the defense. If you put Abdul Carter on this team with the other aforementioned guys, you put Abdul Carter with Milton Williams and, Christian Barmore, hopefully, and Harold Landry and some of these guys that they picked up in free agency, you've got a really good defense at that point, like really good. Far cry in the good way from where you were last year. And then maybe we could talk about winning some games on defense. But right now, they're in the least enviable position. They're right on the outside of the top prospects of this draft, which most years you're not there at 4, but this year you are. It's a mid-draft. All right, you're not dealing with the best draft class ever put out there. Let's just say that. But you want to throw out the situation of, obviously most likely is Patriots trade back. But if you want to trade up and it's, your top 3 picks on the line and you already have another pick in the 3rd round, I'm taking that. I'm taking that no problem for Travis Hunter. We're talking about a once-in-a-generation prospect. He might not be as sure a thing as Joe Burrow, I guess, in terms of what he does for your entire franchise. But he has the chance. I mean, people are saying he has the chance to be an all-pro on either side of the ball. And he was the best player on either side of the ball in college. He's a freak athlete. He could absolutely be a cornerstone of your franchise. And if they do nothing and they just pick somebody, if they pick fucking Will Campbell at 4, and all you had to do was to lose the last week of the regular season, and we sat through that 3-4 months that was just a fucking pile of shit every Sunday afternoon. And we tortured ourselves watching that shit for months for them to win a meaningless game on week 18, and it's going to cost you that kind of a prospect, good luck holding on to this fan base. Good luck. There'll always be fans there, but there's going to be a ton of derision and a ton of disenchantment and a half-empty stadium like it was week 18 against the Bills and like it was for a couple of games last season. Good luck. Good luck. You fumbled it yourself. You almost got lucky. It looked like all the mock drafts were saying that the Giants were going to go quarterback as well. They're not, and you're shit out of luck. Unless you make a bold move and trade your top 3 draft picks to move up to 2 or 3 and go and get Travis Hunter. Probably easier to convince Cleveland at number 2 if Tennessee's going Abdul Carter. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Would you do this deal? Do you want Travis Hunter? Is it Hunter or bust? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Only about 10% of you watching are actually subscribed to the channel. Look, why not, man? We're bringing you Boston sports news every single day, live, high noon Eastern time on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts. So check out the other videos on the channel. Stop on by YouTube, podcasts, Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm Cam Stuart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air.